Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Lincoln's Inkin and today's Friday video tutorial. Today we are going to be making this card, which is one of my Sara's simple shares. And what that is on my blog I like to post cards that are very simple, very elegant, that don't take a lot of time to make because you know we all have those days where we, oh my gosh, I need a card. You know, cards don't always have to be all 900 things are going on here to be very beautiful and very heartfelt for the recipient. So this is the card that we are going to be making today. Again, it's very simple, but it has that wow factor there of the butterfly, you know, hanging off of the card. So it just opens like this, and then you would have your greeting in here, and it just fits right in there. So this is what we're going to be making today, the exact same card, except the butterfly is going to be different colors. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you're going to start with just a piece of plain Whisper white cardstock, and we're not going to score it or anything yet. It measures 11 by 4 1/4, so it's going to end up to be the size of an average size card. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler. I happen to have a T-square ruler here. Any ruler would work. And you're just going to put your cardstock down, and I am going to measure right in the center and mark a little mark at 5 1/2. Okay, so now I'm going to line my T-square up again. Let me make sure you're in the camera here. Okay, line my T-square up again right where that little line is or dot is, and I'm just going to make a very faint pencil mark right across. Okay, so we're going to erase this in a minute, so no worries. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am using the butterfly thinlits today. This is the thinlit that I'm using. And what I like to do is I like to position kinda, you know, where am I going to want my butterfly on my card. So that looks, you know, like a good spot to me. So I'm just going to make 2 little dots right here. And this is just a personal preference. You don't have to, you know, it just helps me get it even too. You know, I can look at the sides and make sure that my butterfly is even. So the color that I'm using for my butterfly is the So Saffron. And let me find my, all right, need my clear block here. So I'm taking the base part of my butterfly, which is from the set Watercolor Wings. We're using the solid image, the side image there, and then the little body. We're also using the little moments with you matter a lot to me saying. I think that that's just a great saying. So I'm just gonna ink up my butterfly here. Get it nice and inked. And I need my little, with the photopolymer stamps, I always like to use a little, this is actually a piercing mat that I've just wrapped in some grid paper. I always like to use that because your photopolymer stamps, they don't have any cushion to them. So the piercing mat allows it to have some cushion for the pushing. Okay, so I'm going to line up my butterfly, and I can see, I'm going to line them up right there. I can see the little dots that I made right through this photopolymer stamp. So I know that that's where the edge, you know, should be. That's another reason why I do it there, is because it just helps me line things up. And there's my butterfly. Now you might think, oh, well, you're kind of blotchy, you're missing some things. But that's actually how the stamp's supposed to look. So I'm good with that. Good with that look. Okay, so now for the top portion of my butterfly, I'm going to use the Pool Party ink. And I'm going to ink this up again. Just like that. And I'm going to put this right on top. Just like that. Bloop. Push down, get good coverage. Voila. Oh, I got a little right there. Well, that's okay. Normally that would bother me, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to start all over again. So, but I'll probably redo that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to do my body, which I'm going to do in crumb cake ink, but I don't want to cut off my body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position my framelit right there. And I'm going to take my pencil again and I'm going to make a little notch down here and a little notch up there. Just so it helps me know where I need to put my little guy's body. So the head goes right there. Body goes right there. Again, just a personal preference. You know, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so now we're going to cut out the butterfly. So let me get my Big Shot here. Here we go. And let me make sure it's in the camera. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Okay. So what we need to do with the Big Shot is, let me get my piece of paper here. Okay, can you see that? Okay. So I'm going to put my framelit on like I normally would to cut out my butterfly. Just like that. Get him where I want him. And that looks good to me. So what I'm going to do is oh, shoot-a-Buddha. What I'm going to do, and I'm sorry, you're probably like, what did she just say? It's a word that my daughter says, and it just came out. Okay. So I'm going to put my framelit down there. Now I'm going to take my other clear plate and I'm going to slide this in so that my clear plate, get you in the camera again here, so that my clear plate is only going to that pencil mark line that we made. So anything to the right of that line that's underneath the cutting plate is going to cut. Anything to the left of the cutting plate that's not under it, it's not going to cut. And that's what we want. So I'm just going to roll this through my Big Shot. Just, yep, see, and then you can feel it. Take the cutting plate off, roll this back through. Let me get this out here and move the Big Shot out of the way. Okay, and see, now it only cuts just that top part, which is what we want. And see, now that part, that boo-boo that I made, that's actually on the back of the card. So now I don't care as much. So we're going to grab the paper trimmer and we're going to put the paper trimmer in. So the end of the card is at 5 1/2. I'm going to take my light gray scoring blade and I'm going to score just to that butterfly right there. Just like that. So I just scored right on that pencil mark. Take my eraser now and erase that pencil line. You won't even be able to see it. Perfect. Now take those score lines that I made, make sure it lines up on the back. And voila. There is your cool butterfly card that's hanging off of the card. I just love this card. I think it's just, and you could do this with any shape. You could do it with a circle, a square. You could do it with any framelit that you want hanging off of the page. I just love it. It's so cool. Okay, so now I'm going to take my greeting with my black archival ink. Ink it up here real good. And then I'm going to put my greeting right down here in the corner. Perfect. Just like that. And there you go, my friends. That is the end of the card. Super easy. You know, once you get going to it, you can just whip right through them. And it's a great card for, you know, any occasion. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by. Until next time, happy inking!